Hey, Bud Files, how you doing today? Welcome in. So I got some celery. I'm trying to do the Three Rivers Challenge this month and not buy things, but I am going to buy things that I actually run out of that I use all the time. So I bought celery and I bought a bag of frozen okra. Cool, fun commenter. Hi, welcome in. What are you up to today? I'm not really making anything. I just have a bunch of celery and I want to get it chopped up and put it in the freezer. I usually use it for soup, but I made some chili today and I used up most of my celery. Nothing cool. Yellow. Do you like to cook? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like to keep hydrated. I try to drink 4 of these a day. Got kind of a mess going on here. I've been decluttering. My kitchen table is looking pretty bad though. And I've got a pile of trash that needs to go out, but it's too snowy and slippery out there to try and make it out to the dumpster. So my son's been taking the stinky stuff out. And I suppose I could make him take the rest out, but I need to get out once in a while. Just going through things and getting rid of stuff. And I'm working on a series, I guess. Not so much a challenge or a collab, but of course, if you want to make video, that's good too. Okay, have a nice dinner. Thanks for stopping in. I'll go and check out your channel a little later. So I got this big container of celery. I just bought one bunch from Walmart. And I think it was $1.27 for that bunch, but it's a nice big bunch. The shopper did good. Karen Amore, no 3743. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. And we have Greek Greek mythology geek. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I had some Legos and I made myself a stand a while back. I do have 3 stands that I got from the Dollar Tree that I usually like to keep on the table, but this works. I have a dog video on in the background so the dog could watch TV. I wanted her to see other dogs playing together because she doesn't really know how to be a dog. People I had her never took her outside. So meeting dogs is something new to her. She doesn't really know what to do. I've been trying to socialize her, and she does get together and sniff, but then after she gets a sniff, she's done. She just doesn't know what to do. So I thought maybe seeing other dogs playing together would help her. First video I had on was just dogs barking, and she just wanted to bark back, which I'm trying to keep her barking down. So is anybody else doing the Three Rivers Challenge, or have you heard about it? So they're talking about not shopping at all for the months of January and February, but these are mostly homesteaders that have grown a lot of food and canned it. I do grow some on my balcony, but I've used all that up already. But I have a lot of canned goods that are stored. I've got some that are past the sell-by date. Now they say that the canned vegetables are good for up to 5 years after their sell-by date or best by date. The best by date just tells how long the quality is good. It doesn't talk about safety. They do say that you need to give it a sniff. My day is going good. How is yours going, Greek mythology? Oh, really? Hey, Bill, good to see you. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Oh, well. I'm talking to you. It's good to see you. Oh, yeah. That's something to think about, too. But one thing about doing this, what I found last year is that I went through everything. I found things that were close to the expiration date and used those up first before using what I had. And there's a food bank tomorrow that I may go to. I'm not buying anything, but sure would be nice to have a pizza. And this one usually does give out a pizza. And they give out all sorts of other things too. I did get some protein powder a few months back. And I like to add that in to my soup if I don't have enough beans or anything. I did try making smoothies out of it, but it's more of a savory vegetable taste. So adding a spoonful to my gravy if I'm not going to eat any meat with, or not beans with some mashed potatoes and gravy or something. Doesn't really change the flavor or the texture much, but it adds a little protein. So I stay fuller longer. Why do you say it's not wise? I'm going to use up the stuff I've got anyway. The thing is to use up things before they expire or they're not good enough to eat. And most of the food that you get from the food bank is past or almost past the best by date, so they can't sell it anymore. But it's still good enough to eat. And if nobody comes for it, they end up having to toss it. So I did check at the 3 food banks that I do go to. This one is just a once a month deal. But I'm not real sure if I'm going because yesterday they were saying rain for tomorrow. And since I don't drive, I don't really want to be walking out in the rain. Your name is Gary Belloop? I didn't know that. Oh, hey, Mimi's Abundant Life. I haven't seen you since your last life. Been enjoying your cooking videos. You always have so many yummy things to make. I get most of my ideas from you. So does anybody have any plans for their channel this year? This year I'm not looking to upload a lot of new videos, although I'm doing my decluttering series for now. But I want to go through my old videos and make some changes. I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTubing, and I've gotten some great ideas. And I did find that when I use those ideas, I do get more views on my videos, and sometimes even more retention, where people will stay longer than the 30-second mark. And apparently that's what the algorithm looks for. If people are staying past the 30-minute mark or 30-second mark, they're more likely, the algorithm is more likely to share it out. Now, they did that with one of my videos that I did a couple months ago, and it's gotten 6,000 views because the algorithm has shared it out. So I'm trying to make things better. Well, that should be fun, an AI cartoon thing. Yeah, I'll look for that. That'll be fun to see. What AI do you use to write scripts? I used to use ChatGPT, but I found that when I try to copy it and paste it into my word processing document, it brings along a lot of other garbage that I have to spend quite a bit of time to delete. But if I use Claude Sonnet 4.5, it doesn't bring as much extra stuff to delete. It will usually bring the words that I use to search. Like I may ask for a title that has, what do you call it? Not searchable. Keyword rich title. And I make it under 55 characters so that it doesn't have the 3 dots for you to have to see the entire title. I wanted to show the entire title on one screen without having to click the more. Unless I'm doing a collab, then I'll put that in there. Your garden channel. Oh, thank you, Mimi. Are you still doing the garden channel? I haven't seen it in a while. You hear all that barking in the background? That's my TV. I put on a video of dogs playing for my dog to watch, so she'll learn how to react to other dogs. She's never played with a dog, but really up until I got her, she never even saw another dog unless she saw litter mates, because the last people never took her out. But I've been trying to socialize her more. And she just doesn't really know what to do with a dog once she's sniffed them. The humble garden, yes. How are you doing again, Mimi? I appreciate you coming in with both channels. That really helps me out. So last week when I chopped up my celery, I blanched it. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to do that again. I sometimes take the frozen celery and put it in like a little salad. I used to like tuna salad, but now I use like smashed chickpeas instead of tuna. Oh, great. Thank you. So your cats have a channel too. I was thinking of doing a second channel because this channel is supposed to be out about living frugally, trying to make ends meet when you're on a fixed income. But I have ADHD, and starting in February, I want to do a shortened version of the Bible. One thing I've found, I started doing Psalms videos, but it turns out that the NIV or any version other than the King James Version has a copyright on it. And although I haven't gotten any copyright strikes by making videos with the new international version, I suppose that could come along in the future. And I'd hate to have a video of each of the Psalms and then get a copyright strike and have to take them all down. But one thing I found is even when I'm doing the Psalms, after I do it, I ask Claude Sonnet for a explanation of it. And then it becomes clearer what they're trying to say. So I've been doing that. And I just get a little paragraph. And since I have ADHD, I look at the page of the Bible and all that reading is just overwhelming to me. I don't really read books, but I've listened to them while I was working. When I was working, I did data entry, and we were able to listen to books, audiobooks. Oh, thank you, Belt Loop. What's the name of your other channel, Belt Loop? I never heard of ADHD until I was diagnosed with it myself. I had to be tested because my boss thought that I was having memory issues when I was 59. And they said my memory was fine. And I was surprised they said that I was above average intelligence. I always thought I was kind of stupid. They said I had ADHD, and they wanted me to take a medication for it, but my cardiologist said no. But now that I'm doing my decluttering challenge, I'm finding, and I'm doing Gail's walking challenge. Gail and Heather are doing a walking challenge, and I did a video on that. And actually, walking gives you as much benefits as the medication. So another thing that helps is to give up sugar. Decluttering is helping. And sometimes decluttering can be hard when you have ADHD, but I found it a lot easier after I gave up sugar. But sugar has a negative effect on your brain, especially if you have ADHD. So Jesus Christ, actually. Is there supposed to be another one? I was really never into the Greek mythology. Greek methodology. That's interesting. But I'm willing to learn. I might come to your channel and check that out. Was Hercules a a Greek god? I know he's not a goddess. That shows how much I know. I do remember watching a movie about that. I took my grandsons to many years ago, 2 of them. I have 10 of them. When I was driving, I could do that. If they needed somebody to watch them, I'd take them to a movie for a day. I have twin grandsons that are 13, and I know I took them probably when they were about 8 or 9. Oh, there's 2 types of Greek mythology or mythology. Oh, that's interesting. Tell us more. I always like to learn new things. So I got this celery and I got a bag of frozen okra, but the chunks are really kind of big for soup. So I like to cut it up, cut each piece up into 4 pieces. So I might do that. Also, I have canned green beans, and this time of year, I like to have a variety of vegetables in my soup. And I found that cutting up canned green beans and freezing them is a nice addition to a soup. Well, thank you. Tell me, what is the Iliad? I know I've heard the word before, but I don't know what it actually is referring to. That's a good idea. I could dehydrate them in my oven. My oven goes down to 170 degrees, so I can dehydrate in the oven. I just like to have it small enough that I can just easily put some in a soup. I don't want to put a whole can in a bowl of soup. And I only make 1 bowl of soup at a time. She ate 1 pomegranate seed. Interesting. I love pomegranate seeds. Or pomegranate juice. I love the flavor of it. I hope you all are connecting while you're on here too. So I'm all about connecting. I'm thinking of doing a live streaming thing during the night while I'm sleeping. When I first started doing lives, I was doing late night lives where I was just watching my tomatoes grow. But I like these chop and chats because I can chat with people while I'm chopping vegetables, which tends to be a little boring. So the dog got bored with the dog channel. Oh no, she's back out on the other couch watching. She was sleeping in here for a while. Interesting. I might have to check that out. It's a really interesting chat, you guys, tonight. I'm learning something new. The next shift, Are you at work? Oh, not so much a meal. I'm just prepping vegetables for my freezer. I just chop them and freeze them like this. And then when I am making a dish, I'll take out a handful or so and add it. Today I used some in chili. I made some chili and then I dumped that on a baked potato. I ate half of it for lunch and I just had the last half for dinner a little while ago. I love having celery in most anything. You know, I would put it in a stir fry or soup, most casseroles, or even shepherd's pie. Some meals I don't like celery in. Can't think of anything offhand, but I know I made something the other day and I didn't add celery. But last week I blanched it and I don't know, I seemed to go through it faster, maybe because it shrunk up and I was still using about the same amount. Hey, Mr. Russian, welcome in. You can't follow live. Why? Your ear is itchy. Have a good night. Hey, welcome in, Handmade and Creative. That one life chicken. Is it? Oh, yeah. I know. My daughter, when her kids were little, she used to take a potato peeler and go on the back of the celery to get rid of the strings so they wouldn't choke on it. But I think with little pieces, I haven't choked on it at all. But it adds a lot of flavor to just about anything. About the only thing I don't add it to is shepherd's pie, I think. And of course, chocolate pudding. Okay, well, good night. Thanks for stopping by and telling us about Greek methodology. I'll have to check that out some more. Now, when I make shepherd's pie, I want mushrooms, zucchini, peas, and carrots. I don't know, this taste of celery to shepherd's pie just doesn't appeal to me for some reason. But if I make a stir fry, I'll probably add it if I have it. And soup, obviously, I always have to have some, probably as much as half of the cup. I use a measuring cup so that I don't add more than a cup of vegetables. Because I tend to add too much or too little. But if I use a cup, it keeps me full for several hours. So I'm not sneaking in the fridge for treats. And since I gave up sugar, I've been doing really good about not eating a lot of salty treats or sweet treats. Just don't seem to have those cravings. But the problem is my pants are falling down. I have to get tighter belts. I got rid of most of my jeans when I decluttered my closet. I wish I would have videotaped that, but I gave away 5 boxes of clothes that no longer fit me and 3 boxes of fabric that I don't have any interest of sewing. It's nice to have the room in my closet. You can't see my knife. I have two knives here. Sometimes I use the smaller one as sharper, but the bigger one is nicer for scooping it up and putting it into the bowl. So I cut up this celery this morning to get it chopped, and it's been sitting here all day, curling up. So these leafy parts I'll add to tomorrow's soup. I'll chop those up a little later. I bought the celery from my Walmart order for the week. Excuse me. I usually have to buy toilet paper and dish soap every week. And chocolate milk, but not for me. And I'm trying not to order a lot of food right now. Get my supply down so that it doesn't get lost and expired in the back of my cupboard or freezer. I do have, I think there was about 20 cans that were past their best by date, which means that the quality may not be as good as it was before the best by date. But I think most of these canned goods I get from the food bank, and I get them when they're close to their best by date. When stores can't sell them anymore, they put them into the food banks. And according to what I find online, vegetables and meats can still be safely eaten for up to 5 years after their best by date, but they lose quality. So I like to eat them as close to their best quality as possible. And usually when you open a can, you're going to sniff it right away anyway. If it smells bad, I'll toss it. But I haven't run into anything that smells bad yet. One of my friends did. And oh, I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, right. If it smells good, if it smells bad, why bother? I do have in my refrigerator, and I plan to toss it out, some dill relish that doesn't smell good anymore. And I don't know what dill relish was supposed to smell like, but it doesn't smell like dill pickles, and kind of turns my stomach. So I didn't smell it before I put it in the salad that I have in the fridge. And I've decided to toss that salad, but I still haven't done that. I'm not going to eat it. But one thing I don't eat very much is tuna. But when I cleaned out my cupboard, I found that I had 8 cans of it. And I want to use it before its best by date goes past. Anchovy soup? No, I've never heard of anchovy soup. I don't really have a name for my soup. I put a cup of vegetables, a half a cup of beans, and a third of a cup of rice, and then a cup of water and some seasonings, and I call it soup. And it's tasty, and it fills me up for hours. And I like to have that for breakfast, and I may have it for lunch or dinner too, if I can't think of something to make. But today I made some chili and I dumped it on a baked potato and I ate half of it at lunch and the other half for dinner. It's really filling. So after I finish with the celery, I think I'm going to chop up my okra smaller. I love to have okra in soup. A food bank gave me a bag of it a couple of months ago, I'd say. And ever since then, I keep wanting to buy some. Been out of it for a while, but I needed to add something to the order because I get free delivery after $35. So if I have $29, I'll add something on it rather than pay $7 for delivery charge. I'd rather spend that money on something I can use, even if I may not use it right away. I don't like to have too much extra on hand. Welcome in, Marilyn Meriton. I'm trying to watch the chat and my hands while this knife is moving. So hopefully I'll catch you when you come in. I'm ready for bed. I'll tell you, I'm tired, but I didn't want to leave the celery sitting out. And I need to do lives periodically to bring up my watch time. I've almost got 1,000 subscribers, but I only have 1,200 and some watch hours. I don't do enough lives, which I was told when I started this channel to do more lives. Hello, 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 Mr. Russian 123. My dog is just glued to the TV over there. So hopefully when she sees more dogs this week, she'll realize she can play with them. And that might be fun for her. She sees dogs and she wants to meet them, but once she meets them, she don't know what to do with them. I am just chopping some vegetables to put in my freezer. This is what I do for meal prep. I keep chopped vegetables in the freezer and I cook up beans. I cooked up red kidney beans today. I ate the last of the black beans this morning that I had made last. And I tell you, when I cook up a 2-pound bag of beans, it lasts me a good 2 weeks. And I cooked up some rice. I've got some rice in the refrigerator. So usually I make a soup with half a cup of beans, a third of a cup of rice, and 1 cup of chopped vegetables, and some water and seasoning for broth. And that's my soup for a meal. Or I put a cup of vegetables in a stir fry. I make tofu from scratch because I am allergic to soy. There is one called tofu that's made from pumpkin seeds. And I made that one time. I got a bag of pumpkin seeds on sale. It was like a $5 package for $1. And I think I bought 3 of them, and I made a couple batches of tofu. And the thing is, with tofu, you don't need to use a coagulant. You just need pumpkin seeds and water and turn it into tofu. And I like to soak it in soy sauce and water, and then air fry it so it's a little crispy on the outside and tastes a little on the salty side. And put that in my stir fry. And I usually use rice in a stir fry anyway. And then I make a sauce that I mix soy sauce, hoisin sauce, and what's that oil? Toasted sesame oil. But the toasted sesame oil I use a little for browning the vegetables. And it makes a real nice flavored Asian sauce. And sometimes I will grate some ginger and turmeric and some chopped garlic in it. Simple bro stuff. I'm your aunt. Are you one of my nieces or nephews or great nieces or great nephews? I seldom see them. We live nearby, but so I'm getting down to my pile of celery here. Seems like carrots and celery make their way onto my grocery list each week. This week, I used a can of carrots, and then I used pumpkin pie spice, and I made muffins. And I made a little loaf of muffin bread because I finished all the muffins, but they tasted a lot like pumpkin pie because of the pumpkin pie spice. But they had the moisture from the canned carrots. So they have a lot of protein and all sorts of good stuff. So just a couple of those little muffins really fill me up if I feel a little hungry. Sometimes I just have that for a meal. So now you have me curious. Am I actually related to you? Or do you just call all old women aunt? I know in some countries they do that. I am an aunt many times. I have 3 brothers, and they have kids. One has 2, one has 3, and the other has 4. So what is that? 9 nieces and nephews on one side, and then on my husband's side, I had 2 nephews. And one had no kids, and the other had 3 kids. So I have great nieces and a great nephew on that side too. Lockswood the Fox, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. So if you're watching my decluttering videos, you're probably wondering why I have all the pile of stuff on the couch. So I'm decluttering in the other room, and things that need to go out to the trash ended up back on that couch because I can't take it out right away. It's one problem with living in Wisconsin when you get older. Falling down could lead to a broken hip. Happened to a friend of mine, went out to get the mail in the snow and fell down and broke his hip. And I'll tell you, it's not something I want to do because it takes months to recover, even years. And about only 40% of the people that do break a hip actually fully recover. And actually as many as 20% don't even survive a year. So I'm avoiding that. I mean, I don't need to go outside. My dog uses pee pads. And I'm reluctant to take her out these days anyway, because one of my neighbors doesn't understand that her vicious dog needs to be kept on a leash. He's attacked my dog twice and attacked a neighbor's large Labradoodle, caused $1,200 in vet bills, and these people will not pay, and they will still not keep their dog on a leash. I've complained multiple times to the landlord, and nothing is being done. And the police don't really do much anything about it, even though we do have a leash law in this city. They aren't really enforcing it. I can't really afford $1,200 if my dog needs to go to a vet. And if she gets attacked to the point where she's hurt that bad, I couldn't even afford to have her put down. So I feel safer just keeping her in the apartment. The last family that had her never took her outside. And the funny thing is that dog is black. And for several weeks after that, whenever we would meet another dog or another dogs, she'd be happy to meet all the other dogs, but she would avoid the black dogs. She just ignored them. She wouldn't go sniff them, nothing. She wanted nothing to do with black dogs. So my dog is now prejudiced. She's not prejudiced against black people because she goes running up to greet my black friends. But she does not like black dogs. She doesn't do anything other than ignore them, though, which is good. But she likes to meet other dogs. Food poisoning alert? Oh, really? Tell me more. Is there a problem with celery? Alrighty, we can say goodbye to this one. Bye-bye. Hi, y'all. Hearth and Home, welcome in. Sorry, I missed you sneaking in there. I think I'm keeping too focused on my veggies here. I got one more stalk of celery in here, and I've got some leaves. I'm going to chop up those leaves and just put them in a bowl to have in my soup for breakfast. Is there anybody else that likes to have soup for breakfast? I don't really want to eat cereal because, for one thing, I'm allergic to milk. I can make rice milk, but I'm trying to avoid sugar, and having cereal without sugar just is no fun. But I like a nice hearty bowl of soup for breakfast. Keeps me full all morning. So sometimes you have to say goodbye to people that visit. Now, I know that several people I know, when they do a live, they only allow people in that have been members for 5 minutes or more, because generally people who are going to leave snide comments don't stick around for 5 minutes. They want to go on to create havoc in the next live. Today I had issues. I was going to a channel that I usually like to watch every week, but I couldn't get on. It said that I hadn't been subscribed for over 5 minutes, but I've been subscribed to them for months. And I thought, well, maybe I need to resubscribe, but that wasn't the case. I was subscribed. But after the live, I was able to get into the replay with no problem. I will be right back. I'm just going to go over here and get another little container for the leaves. So I've got a little bag here I can put them in. Got a bad leaf here. It's not scrolling here. Yeah, I'm just fixing these to freeze. I go through a bunch of celery about every week. And then whatever vegetables that I get, either from a food bank or the farmer's market, which is now closed for the year. So I've got a couple bad pieces here. So the celery is done. I'm going to get some okra. I'll be right back. So I've got this bag that I washed out. So while I was doing my research for my decluttering, one of the things that said I should not be saving is my plastic bags. So I'm not going to listen to them because I really use my plastic bags. I use them over a couple times because they're expensive. And if they start getting a little funky, I might use them for something for gardening. I wonder if these seeds are any good after they're frozen. Now, last year, somebody gave me an eggplant, and I saved the seeds from it, and I got more eggplants this year from it. So I still have some of those seeds. So I like my okra pieces smaller. No, this isn't eggplant, but it reminds me of the eggplant that I got last year because all these seeds were coming out, and I just happened to scrape them all up and plant a few. I let them all dry out. I don't think okra really grows that well here, but this year, the last 2 years, I tried growing ground cherries, which grew nicely, but each time the frost came, didn't matter when I started them. One time I even started them in January, but they still weren't ripe enough when the frost came, and they're too big to really bring in the house. So I'm not growing those anymore. But they do taste good. I was able to bring in a few pieces of fruit and let it ripen inside. But most of them were too green to even try doing that with. So it'll be nice to have a bag of these all ready to go. Just little pieces. I can put a little bit in my soup each morning or each day. Sometimes I have soup in the afternoon, but usually I just have it in the morning. One thing I've been wanting to make is pizza, and I got some mozzarella cheese, but I ate it all. So I made this baked potato with chili on it, and then I put mozzarella cheese on it. But I got, I think it's called Love Your Heart kind, and well, that had a really nice flavor. But I usually get their generic one, which is a blend of a mozzarella type and a cheddar type. But they were out of it when I placed the order. I think tomorrow is going to be nice enough to actually take the dog out for a walk. Marbled cheese. Well, it's not really marbled because it's shredded. It would probably be marbled if I melted it, which I sometimes do. See, I'm allergic to milk, so I get the dairy-free cheese. And although the taste isn't the exact same, it has a real nice, pleasant flavor. So I make my own too. Oh, that one went flying. It's all the way on the other side of the table there. But that's a good small piece by itself there. Gee, I wonder how she would do if I just put the TV on when I leave sometime. She may not hear me leave. This dog has separation anxiety that is unbelievable. After 2 years, she's starting to get a little better, but thought she was doing good on Christmas Eve and left her in my room, and she barked enough that the neighbors had to complain to the landlord. It's kind of funny because they're so darn noisy and they're swearing so loud and singing the worst songs. Sounds like they're threatening me, but it's very possible there are such songs out there these days. And this dog is funny. She does not like carrots. She doesn't like pumpkin. She tolerates peanut butter, but it doesn't seem to be a favorite of hers. Yeah, I'll try and just keep the seeds in there and add it to the soup. I'm thinking that if they're frozen, they're probably not all that viable anyway. I would like to grow some. One thing I'm going to try growing this time, and I'm doing it just for the winter growing, is black lentils. So I made some black lentil sprouts, and they grew really nice. They sprouted nice, so I'm thinking they should grow a nice plant. But black lentils aren't all that easy to find. The only place I can find them around here is on Amazon or Whole Foods, which is the one thing that I can get through Amazon. Well, I think I'm just going to do half the bag of okra. Yeah, I put a can of green beans that I puree in her dog food when I make it. She will eat that, but not if I put canned carrots. She won't eat the dog food. And even if I use fresh carrots, she won't eat the dog food. My other dogs would eat pumpkin. I get free pumpkins after Halloween. and I chop it up and put it in their food. This dog does not like it. So that should add for a couple soups. Got this. I think I'm going to put a little bit in there for now. And add some carrots. And I have red and orange peppers. Well, thank you all for coming in. I will be checking out your channels. I'm saving your information here. I'm going to call it a night. Because I'm just extremely exhausted for some reason. And I still have to bag that celery and put it in the freezer.